Happy Friday, everybody. Whoa, it has been a very crazy week here in crypto. But today's edition, we are back to crypto and cocktails. And I've got my Queen Bee mug. That's for all the ladies in the group because we're the Queen Bees. And I'm feeling good, guys, even though the market is absolutely nuts. I've got my Costa Rican pineapple and mango vodka. And you know what? It's almost 10 p.m. here in Spain, so it's definitely okay time for a drink. If you've got coffee, if you've got your matcha, whatever you have, you're all welcome. We're so happy to have you. This is a very fun stream in which we sort of like go over everything that's happened in the week, calm your fears, keep you at ease, make sure you're cool, calm, and collected, and you're not panicking, and going over key critical levels. Now, as you also know, we love to go over theses on this show, right? We like to think about why things are happening. At least my part of the show is I take into account all the fundamentals and macros. And man, I sound like a broken record, but the fundamentals and the tailwinds for crypto couldn't be better. Yet I think it's underperforming all of the other assets this year, at least as of the last 6 months. Gold is ripping, silver just hit a new all-time high. It's going crazy. The Russell 2000, which represents small cap stocks like penny stocks in the stock market, is absolutely flying, and that represents risk on appetite. So what gives? Why is now? Don't get us wrong. Like Bitcoin has pumped quite a bit from 17,000 all the way up to 75,000 and then over 125,000. So it's not that it's been a bad run. People are wondering, why is it not keeping up with the rest of the risk on assets right now? So we're going to go over some key pieces of opinion here, and then we'll get into the charts with Rob because the charts don't lie. They just spit the facts, and it's not our opinion. It's what's showing in the chart. So there is one interesting thing that we're picking up on altcoins, which I've not seen anybody talking about on crypto, Twitter, X. Okay, so you're gonna want to stay tuned for that. We're gonna give you some hot setups for free as a freebie as part of our crypto and cocktails. And then we're going to get into, just some trading tips and send you off into the weekend happy and ready to crush it. Okay. So as far as news, there hasn't been a whole lot that's been happening except for just a lot of talk from Trump, from the administration. The CFTC just came out. I just posted this in the group. So the group gets all the news in real time. Our team is on it. I happen to see this. The SEC and CFTC to hold a joint event to discuss making the U.S. the crypto capital of the world. Trump went before all of the world leaders in Davos and said he is still dedicated to making the U.S. the crypto capital of the world. Then you have CZ. Okay. CZ, I worked with Binance team before, and I did meet him and get to talk to him, and he's pretty much a legend, guys. I mean, just the way that he thinks, he's just a very he sees things before anybody else does. I think it was about 5 years ago he said that all exchanges are going to trend toward decentralization, and he's a very early to the vision, basically, and he's going on all over Davos and saying that he believes that 2026 will be the start of a super cycle for Bitcoin. And then you've seen all this stuff about AI. This is another opinion that I've been formulating my thesis, is that the next 5 years are going to be the most productive years in human history, thanks to AI. So I just can't see things not doing well, right? That it lowers inflation, increases GDP, it increases wages. So it's just, I don't know. I just see this melting pot of, okay, we might have some turbulent times here, but in the next couple of years, we're going to be absolutely, happy with the way the world is trending. That's how the information that's being presented, I'm reading it, and until proven otherwise, that's kind of what I'm looking at. But I believe even if we do get a bear market, like we talked about yesterday, maybe we're halfway through it already, and maybe it's not going to mirror typical bear markets anymore. And in fact, Kathy Wood from ARK Invest believes that the worst is behind us since after the October leverage cascade crash that liquidated a huge amount of market makers unwound. It was a real big deal, right? And so we're recovering from that now, and the worst is behind us, she says. So Intel, the stock INTC crashed 17.50% today. Not sure what that's about, but things are they're kind of going crazy, right? So we have a lot of interesting things. Polygon has been a very hot token. We've also posted that in the group, and it's seen huge growth across all sectors in 6 months. And it's the top chain by net inflows. Also, Ondo, very, very hot token. We did put that set up in the group, and Rob did a live on it just to explain all the nuances of how to get into that setup. So one of the things you get in our group is you get a really detailed explanation from Rob and our mentors that will help you understand how to get into a trade, how to get out of a trade, and what is actually happening. So it's really exciting, guys. The link is in the description. I'm seeing a lot of new people sign up, but some of you aren't getting into the Telegram group. So let me know if you're having trouble with that. We'll try to set up like a support channel. But for now, this is my Telegram. I'm just going to put it here in the comments for anybody who wants to join and is having trouble. And so welcome to all the new members. So it's really awesome, guys. The link is in the description for BYDFI. Now you join, you deposit any amount, transfer it to your futures account, and you get a $100 trading bonus. It is a no-brainer. It is only free until the end of the month. So this is it. Like, this is it, all hands on deck. You're still getting it for free. And then we're going to have to close it because we're going to come out with our crypto course, our trading course, to teach you like a masterclass, all of the proven strategies that Rob has worked with over the years to trade from literally a very small amount up to, 6+ figures. Okay. So you'll hear Rob's story when the course comes out, but it's really, really inspiring. And I want you all to be on this ride with us, period. And so that's why we come on these lives and we try to update you as much as we can. So that's it. That's it for news, I believe. And now we're going to get into the charts with Rob. And basically, just on that note, I mean, the odds of BlackRock's Rick Ryder becoming the next Fed chair to replace Jerome Powell hits new all-time high. So things are heating up, yet they're slowing down at the same time. What is going on? We need answers. Okay, I'm just going to throw up a few things here for you guys to see. Just so we can go over that for a minute, because I see everybody is like kind of echoing. Oops, I got to remove this. It's kind of like an echo chamber of the same thing. People are just looking at fractals and they're comparing it to like the 2021 fractal and that we're going to have a big leg down. But then one of the users on CryptoX put this out there and he said he's sick and tired of seeing people put the same fractal up because it's also identical to another fractal that shows that we ripped to the upside. So we'll have a look at what the charts are exactly showing with Rob, but it's true. It's like history can rhyme, but it doesn't repeat, and you can find fractals in many different areas that might resemble the same setup. Okay, so that was one of the things. And then there was one other thing I wanted to show you. Maybe it's this. Yes. So Vivek posted this and he said the last 5 times Bitcoin RSI hit this low, Bitcoin went up 100% in the following, well, it looks like 80 days here. So that would be about just under 3 months. I don't know, guys, can you have enough patience to see this through? I'm telling you, it might not be right now, but this market is going to explode eventually. And all the writings on the wall. In fact, Ondo came out and they said that I have the tweet here. This is the last thing I'll tell you before we get Rob on Ondo. We have a great setup for that in the group. Join the group in the link in the description below. It'll send you to our verification bot. You'll sign up to BYDFI, copy and paste your user ID, and then you'll be in. So if you have trouble, do let us know. But so I posted some news on Ondo about Solana. It was very, very bullish. I'm going to pull that up here just so you have like a reference of why maybe the token is starting to get some eyes on it. So Ondo came out and said hundreds of RWAs just went live on Solana, and that with Ondo Global Markets, the number of tokenized stocks on Solana just 4x. Mega bullish. All right. On that note, crypto and cocktails. Let's add our highly esteemed crypto trader to the chat. What's up, Rob?
Hey, how's it going? How's it going? Just having a little drink out of my Batman cup today.
Oh, I can't quite see it. Let's see.
Oh, the green screen's
on. Your green screen's killing it, man. Yep, there we go. There we see it a little bit. I like it. I like it. So what's in the Batman cup?
Rum and Coke today.
Rum and Coke. It's a Pirates kind of day. I like it.
Pirates kind of day. Yeah. I didn't feel like I had a bottle of wine I was going to open up, homemade wine. I make wine as well, too.
Homemade wine. Wow. Yeah, homemade wine and moonshine.
I learned how to make wine with my dad. So my dad liked beer and wine a lot. So one day we did a course to how to make wine and started making it afterwards.
That's pretty epic. And that is probably why you're such a great trader, because you're able to figure things out that most people can't. I don't know. I've never brewed my own. I don't even know how to say it. Curated my own batch of wine. The closest I get. I do the same thing every day.
I am a machinist by trade, so I do like to make things. Like the whole thing that we were just talking about with AI taking over kind of freaks me out sometimes. I'm like, oh geez, so I tried to use an AI. So I program multi-million-dollar machine, like lathes and stuff like that, like really expensive lathes. Like if they crash, it usually costs like $300K to fix them and stuff like that. So very, very expensive machines that I program. I actually make the machines that the glass bottles that you have. I actually make those machines. So
all right.
And I program the CNC machines to help make those machines to make those bottles. But anyway, I tried using AI once to do programming for me, and if I would have sat there and let AI do it and ran it, the machine would have crashed and it would cause lots of destruction. So
It's far
AI
from
is still a
perfect.
long way to go. I think AI is still in the very beginning stages, and still has a long time to go. I wouldn't like for something that like I said, for programming a very expensive CNC machine or any kind of equipment like that, I wouldn't trust it just yet.
Yeah. I mean, there's quite a ways to go. Although Elon Musk also said all over Davos that we are just like a few years away from having humanoid robots all over our house, and then he believes that eventually there will be more robots than humans. Obviously, that's way down the line, but the humanoid robots are not that far down the line, according to Elon Musk. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Let's see. Let's see.
I mean, if I have a robot do dishes and do laundry for me and all that type of stuff, I'm I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm drinking out of a Batman. It's my son's Batman cup because all my cups are on the. I forgot to turn on the dishwasher today. So if I had a robot sat there, I'd have my whiskey cup maybe.
Batman cup and pirate rum it is. That's just it. And I'm over here my missing the California sunshine, so I've got Costa Rican pineapple mango. Guys, let me know where you're tuning in from, what you're drinking. It's okay if it's just coffee. All good. Everyone welcome. Okay, we don't discriminate here. Gene, it's really great to see you back here. This is the kind of person who wins. I mean, this is a winner, right? Who's somebody who's tuning in, showing interest, and showing up and asking questions. I'm telling you, if you do this, like your success is nearly guaranteed. If you stick with it, if you don't give up, and if you put that kind of effort in, guys, like sky is the limit. I was telling a little bit about Rob's story about how he traded his way up. A very inspiring story. You'll hear that in the course that's coming out. No merch yet, Jane, but I want to get you one of these glasses, this Queen Bee glasses, for our special lives and our special group chats in group when we're going to start doing that. But yeah, so, and also you're asking if there's a link to sign up to pay. Are you referring to the course? The course will be, that link will be out shortly, and all members in our group will have a first access and a nice discount on that. So if you're in already and we'll consider you an OG before February, then yeah, it's going to be absolutely awesome. You're going to learn everything you need to know to exponentially multiply your success as a trader. And I think that's a really powerful skill and really it's insane value, right? Because you can carry this with you forever. So my name is Unit. I wish I knew your name. Gosh, you always say Richard, right? Oh my gosh. I get so confused when I just see your screen names, but Myrtle Beach online. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. Sorry, we're going to lose signal soon. It's all right. Thank you so much for tuning in. And to everybody who's out there, thank you again, because this is our special edition. We're just going to have a great chat, as you can already see. We're going to discuss the markets now. So Rob, we were talking earlier, before about there's a few things that sort of look different in this, consolidation or chop or correction, whatever you want to call it. Why don't you walk us through some of that?
All right, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pull up Bitcoin dominance. I think that's a really important chart to be watching right now. Do you want to go ahead and share my screen?
Yep, it's all good.
All good. All right. So this is something that we've been just keeping really up to date right now in the group. So Bitcoin dominance did break out to the upside, and what I've been kind of watching is if we would break this one-day SMA 200. Let me move this around here. So I look at everything as a trading opportunity. I don't like to speculate too much. I like looking at everything as a trading opportunity, which you actually can trade Bitcoin Dom. It's called Bitcoin Dom on as well too. So I'm not sure if it's on BYDFI just yet, but anyway, when I was looking at this, I'm like, all right, we need to break the one-day SMA 200 and retest it. And it's going to be going up and higher. And if that does happen, that's going to drag down the alts, and we're probably going to get some more epic short plays before we get to go flip long, right? So whenever I was looking at it, and that happened. So we broke out and we retested today, and now we're kind of going up. We're above all the moving averages. We're above this trend line. Now we're at this basically double bottom. Now I didn't even see this before, but we're basically at a double bottom neckline, right? So if we break this level here, now we're going to be doing a full breakout double bottom pattern. That's also a, let's go ahead, a bearish order block. So there'll be a breaker block as well too. So we still have one more level to break here. Now, the one thing that I am seeing why this is if this happens, there is a higher probability that we do get one more leg down, or maybe a sweep of the lows of the alts if this does happen. But what I'm seeing right now is as we're breaking this out and Bitcoin dominance is going up like this, especially in this level here that we've been in, altcoins aren't pulling back like they normally do. Typically, I get like easy 10% gains, 15% gains on shorts on a zero leverage. And we're not getting that. We're basically just staying at the same levels We're getting some take profits, then we're going back to entry. So we're not really breaking down on alts is what I'm basically seeing. So that's something that's kind of different as of right now that I'm watching in the group that we're kind of paying attention to, because if something's acting different, this might potentially, if we get rejected here, we could be doing a bull trap on the 1-day SMA 200, and we could get all the way rejected back down to this trend line. We'll have to go from, once we get to this trend line again, we'll have to go from there and see what happens. But if we do get rejected from here and Bitcoin keeps kind of going sideways to the upside, we might get some good altcoin trading. And the reason I say that, I'm going to go ahead and jump in. I'm just going to go through a bunch of altcoins and like the 1-day charts here. So
yeah, let's have a look.
And this is like a confluence thing. It isn't saying that this token's bullish, this token's bearish. I'm looking for overall like sentiment and overall what I want to call it, confluence through multiple altcoins. So I'm just gonna bring up some basic indicators. So I'm gonna look at like Floki right now.
Mm-hmm.
So Floki, 1-day time frame. We have the Stosh RSI all the way down, pointing up. We don't have the confirmed cross. RSI is hovering right around 40 on a bullish support zone, and we have a potentially higher low on it. So we have all these things right here showing this on Floki. Now, I'm not saying buy Floki right this second. We could get a little bit lower, better entry. Maybe let's come down a little bit lower, come down, make a double bottom, then go up. And that's okay as well, too, because we don't have anything confirmed yet. I'm waiting for the break for the 1-day 9. We were kind of moving on it yesterday. Then I could go into Bonk. Bonk looks exactly the same. All right, nothing different. Everything looks the same. So let's just take away price action right now. As I think there's a way for me to even do that. But and we're just looking at the price. So take away the price action, what everything looks like up here. We're underneath. I'm going to go ahead and take away the SMA 50, the SMA 200, and we're going to leave the 1-day 9 on. So we're underneath the 1-day 9. We need to break that one here with all these going to the bullish upside, which we're getting to the area where things start. It's all curving up, starting to curve up, starting to curve up. Now I'm going to go into LDO. I'm not even, this isn't any, I didn't do any like pre-looks at these before the live here. I didn't know what they looked like today just yet. I knew what they looked like yesterday, but 1-day charts kind of look the same. This kind of looks like the same right here. We need to break that 1-day 9. We're starting to get those bullish pivot looks on that on the 1-day time frame. AVAX looks kind of the same here. So we're getting those areas here where we could be getting some bullish pivots here soon. We're looking for those bullish pivots. We don't got confirmation on it just yet. One of my rules is not to trade long underneath the 1-day 9 unless you're really, really good and you have a really good reason to. We did post some long setups, but there are more setups to be kind of ready just in case things do break to the upside, but we still have short setups going on at the same time as well too. And we aren't just pulling back just as much as we would have since Bitcoin dominance is kind of breaking up. SUI is one that we have posted in group that we're watching. As you see, I already wrote on it because I did a video on this yesterday actually in group as well too, saying, hey, this is why I'm starting to post some more potential long setups, is because like SUI right now, we're kind of on the major support. Maybe we go sideways a little bit on it, and then we kind of pivot to the upside here. I took actually a little bit of a fractal here saying, hey, maybe this is kind of what we're doing right now. We're going to go sideways down here until we kind of go up and hit this trend line up here, but we still got some time on here. Now, we're looking for basically bullish pivots. So we're getting the bullish pivot signals kind of like in the 1-week chart. We're getting the all the stuff kind of go up strong here. We almost got the MACD cross in the 1-week chart. Now we're just trying to get the 1-day chart to basically agree with it. It might take a little bit more time here. It just depends on how the dailies close on these tokens. And the easiest thing right now is setting alerts on the 12-hour or 1-day SMA 9. But it's starting to look, everything's going to come into play at the same exact time here and looking exactly the same, no matter what altcoin you go to. Just what one's going to run the most is usually the question. Or are they going to run at separate times where you can sit there, get in one, it runs pretty well, you take profits and get into the next one? We don't know until we start getting some confirmations on these signals.
Right. This is really interesting. So basically, to break this down, this is one of the first things we cover in the masterclass trading course that's coming out. Our bullish and bearish pivots is the first thing you have to identify, and that will help you a lot with your trading as well. And the 1-day 9 is an integral part of the strategy, guys. So like it's just simple, powerful, and effective, and then you add the more advanced, nuanced indicators to it. But just those things alone can help you so much in determining all this. Now, what Rob is doing is sort of also looking at Bitcoin dominance to kind of gauge, okay, well, what's Bitcoin doing? Are we going to have another pivot lower or not? And it all depends on where the oscillators are. Some of the tokens are at different areas than others, and some of them are just more bullish than others. That's the nature of it. So there's many different things to look at. We also talk about trading with the trend. And as Rob said, he is posting some longs now that are a little bit you need to be cautious of because they're below that 1-day 9. But we do help walk you through it in the group. You're not doing it alone, and you can always ask questions. So we try to help you level up your trading beyond just the basics as well. But even with just the basics, you'll do amazingly well.
Yeah, so like right now we're kind of looking at the undo long and group as well too. So we were talking about that here. I'm gonna
Maybe
go
if you
ahead.
can make the bigger.
Yeah, so this is the image here that we got kind of posted here. So this is like the small time frame image. So I was looking for like a break of this trend line or a retest of the 9. So we got rejected the trend line. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna pull up this and make this whole screen bigger here. Like acting a little bit slow here. So on undo right now, so I did like a whole recording of it. So this is whenever we get a good token we're looking at.
Undo chart right
here. We go.
So right now we are coming back down and retesting the 4-hour SMA9, which is my white line right here. We do have some fair value gaps as well too. They're already basically filled, but they could get filled again as well too. Looks like we're trying to do, and that we are testing this strong support right here. So we're looking for an S&R flip. So this is basically a nice long opportunity that we got here. We want to make sure this level basically holds, and you might be able to scale in this area. So, and where you want to have your stop losses at is underneath that one last wick that we whipped underneath the SMA9 here. So somewhere in that area is where you're going to have your stop loss here, because we close underneath that if we do close underneath this 1 hour or 4-hour SMA9 on undo here, there is a potential chance that we do go all the way down to this bullish order block down here that's printed. This is a bullish change of character order block, or other people will sit there and say CHACH. So CHACH stands for bullish change of character. Now, that means that we got our first high in here. And after a higher high, we typically be coming down in, get a higher low, or at least a double bottom or something.
Right. So yeah, so that's one of the things that Rob did recently to help you guys walk you through the trade. And that's one of the perks of being in the group is you get your hand held a little bit in that way. And that, they're not just setups there that somebody posts and gives you signals to get in and out. He's explaining to you the nuances of that. And one thing I want to point out before you continue is that he goes over bullish and bearish order blocks on the Lux algo indicator. That's also something we teach in the course, and liquidity sweeps and liquidity grabs, guys. And all of those things are just so much more than the average trader knows. And in order to win in this game, you need to be better than the average trader. And you will be if you take the course. All right. So back to you, Rob.
Yeah. So yeah, the rest of that video, you can join and get in the group. Right now it's free. So if you want to watch the rest of that video, and of course we'll be updating that as time goes as well too, and maybe making some more videos on what's going on as well too. And they're literally short 3 to 6 minute videos. I try to keep them underneath 5 to 6 minutes. They're just quick live videos of what I'm looking for to take a trade. So whenever when we're basically trying to take a trade. So like a lot of people sit there and say, this is the level right here you enter. This is where you're stopped, black and white. And in my time of trading, it's never worked out that way to where this is the entry and this is the stop loss. Like you got to look for entry. Sometimes you got to look for that special signal. You got to look for volume for confirmation. You got to look for that candle close. Like I can sit there and say enter, like say I want to enter render short rate at this level, which we did enter short on this render trade. I think I still partial. We have to take profit ones and bounce on it. Like I said, we're bouncing around. I think I still have a partial entry on it. But say like I want to sit there and enter right at this level here, and it wicks up a little bit and you get stopped out or something like that. Then it goes back underneath it and closes underneath it. Then you weren't waiting for your candle close or something, or like right up in here. It's not black and white all the time. You got to sit there and be waiting for candle closes sometimes. Or if you get stopped out or you get liquidity, the market makers are taking out liquidity. It's nothing against you. They just want to take out that liquidity, and you just get right back in sometimes. You'll take a small loss and get right back in because nothing got invalidated. The setup's still good. You just get right back in sometimes. And that happens every once in a while. It's trading. It's not black and white. And that's why sometimes trading can be hard, is because it's not just like you take an entry here and you just wait. Sometimes it's you take an entry here, you get stopped out, you look at the trade, oh, nothing's wrong. It was just a wick. It was the market maker taking out liquidity. I need to get back in. You take a $50 loss and then you make a $500 win. So it just sometimes works out that way.
Right. Yeah. And so I see Optical Art Crypto is asking, what's up with Bitcoin? Well, funny you asked. We're just about to go over that. It's an optical illusion is what it is. No, but Bitcoin, all eyes on Bitcoin. I mean, it's kind of like up and down and all over the place. And people are wondering what is going on. Is this a bear flag? What's happening? What are we doing? What is going on with Bitcoin?
So Bitcoin, I've been looking at quite a bit as of right now. And it's like one thing is we broke underneath the 1-day 9. Now we're down and we're bouncing off of basically a trend line potentially, or we're bouncing off support, but we also lost major support. My big level right now is very simple. We need to break the 1-day SMA 50 and close back above it. If not, we're probably going lower. I have a chart in group that I think I deleted it on here. Yes, I did. So I'm going to go ahead and, instead of remaking the chart, I'll just go into the Bitcoin channel on our group here, and something we've been kind of watching here. Sorry, we do a lot of quite updates on. So if you like the liquidity stuff, I go over those a lot as well too, which we'll go over that just a little bit here. But this chart right here, this is one of my main charts right here. So I got to remake it. But what I'm basically looking at right here, so Bitcoin, we in the 4-hour time frame, we're bearishly retesting this 4-hour SMA 200. We probably have a long wick up above it as well right now, but we're back right down to the same area zone right now. We have RSI in the 4-hour time frame at a range low, basically. So if this keeps ranging low, that's going to bring our price action probably all the way down to the range low on the price action. Now, the Stosh RSI, it was all the way up at that time when I took this picture here, and it hasn't came all the way down here. So that's a signal that, hey, potentially this means to come back down here. And why the RSI is low, that means RSI. I know a lot of people sit there and say overbought and oversold. I'm going to actually make the more definition if you go into Investopedia, or you look at fidelity.com and what they call it, or what it's actually called. It's called relative strength index. Whenever the RSI is trending between 20 to 50, 20 to 40, going between those areas, that means there is no strength. There's no relative strength in the market on that time frame, that you're in a bearish range that's going to pull that price action down. So typically, whenever this is at a bearish crossover and the RSI is ranging low, that's telling you that there might be another leg down here. So that's kind of what we're kind of looking at right now for Bitcoin. Now let's just go ahead and look at our 4-hour Bitcoin chart as of right now and see where the oscillators are at. So the 4-hour oscillator hasn't gone underneath 80 yet. So we haven't got our confirmed cross yet. It's still going sideways, and the price action isn't going up because the RSI isn't really going up as well too. We're still in that range low on the RSI in the 4-hour time frame, and we're getting rejected from the 50 level, which I think, if I remember and I recall correctly, I posted it somewhere in group, that Fidelity, they use, I think, 20 to 60 as a bearish range. So we're going underneath 50 here, which, let's see what our bearish range has been in the 4-hour chart. We can go ahead and go into that. It looks like that this zone right here. So I'm just kind of looking. So we are in that bearish range. We're still into that here. So I'm going to sit there and just say, this is like our bearish tops right here. So if we don't get above 50 and hold above 50, there's a high probability that this is going to come back down again. And let's see here. Last time it went down to 16, right? Let's see how often we go down to 16 in the 4-hour time frame. Not very often. So that's actually a really good signal. So we barely ever go down to 16 on the 4-hour time frame. So our next pullback on Bitcoin, even say Bitcoin makes a lower low, right? Say that does happen. Say we do break that range, which at this point right now, it wouldn't be surprising me if we made a new low on Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame. Now, what would that look like on the RSI? This is what I'll be sitting there kind of looking for. If Bitcoin price action made a new low and Bitcoin RSI, say it goes down to 20, what are we going to have there? We're going to have some nice bullish divergence. So
there we go.
We hardly ever get the RSI to go down that low. So price action goes down, makes a new low, and RSI doesn't make a new low. We're going to be looking at some potential strong bullish divergence. So I'm not expecting the RSI to go lower than, can it? Yes, of course it can, but it's not very often that you even get down to that. I think that's the lowest. I think the last time was February, what was that? February 25th or wow. Okay. That was a very long time ago.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often. What I'm hearing is that would represent an incredible buying opportunity, at least for the next potential swing.
Yes. So that is something that I'm going to be sitting there. I'm very kind of bullish on. That's what I'm going to be sitting there saying that, or if we do make a new low on Bitcoin, we're going to be looking for this potential strong bullish divergence somewhere in here. Even the RSI goes down to 30, that's going to be very strong bullish divergence. So let's go ahead and look at the price action and see where that low could be at on this 4-hour time frame. So let's go ahead and take away these oscillators. So our last low, let's go ahead. It's really choppy. So when it gets really choppy like this, so somewhere, this was like our last pivot low here. So somewhere beneath this level right here, I'd have to sit there and say 84,000. Some people might use the $87,000 range. It just depends on what low if they're going to say this is the low or this is the low here. So we'll just see what it calls for at that time whenever we get down to there. So I'm gonna sit there and say I'm just gonna use the pivot point right here of 80. If we go underneath, if we get down to $84,000, which doesn't break this low down here, but it breaks this low right here, we're making a new low. We're gonna have bullish divergence. Or actually, I could sit there and say is some people might be looking at it this way as well too. Sometimes I come up with things why we're making charts on here. That's the whole idea here. So pivot low, pivot low. We didn't really get a pivot high, but say we come back down here and we hit this trend line that I just made there. Say that's going to be a confirmed trend line right here. We kind of hit this and go sideways on here, and the RSI goes down to like 20 or 25, 20. That could give us bullish. That could be considered bullish divergence right there. So we don't even have to go that low, I suppose. Let's go ahead. So something like this right here, that would be a new low compared to this low right here. Let's go ahead and line up and see where that RSI is at. See if that's where we're looking at. So that RSI low is right there. Okay, yeah. So I like hiding this stuff and then making the lines, then seeing if they line up, because it just makes you a better trader. It's like, whoa, it low lines up, yeah. So I didn't know where that RSI low was at, right? So let's go ahead and I'm going to make a line right there. So if we go lower than $88,136 and the RSI doesn't make a new low, we're going to have major bullish divergence. And how we're going to help confirm that is this Stosh RSI. When we make that new low, this is going to be our confluence here. Let's go ahead and take away some of this stuff here so it's not confusing looking. This is real life charting, by the way. This wasn't prepared.
This is good stuff. You guys get some really good alpha on the stream when Rob does his live charting, because you get to see how he thinks, what he looks for, and it's not the typical stuff you're hearing everywhere else. It's nuanced. It's a little bit different of a viewpoint. It's not just an echo chamber. And I'm not saying other analysts are not right, but it's nice to add new perspective to the charts, right? And so that's what I think is Rob is excellent at doing.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I'm sitting there and I'm looking at how am I going to take entry on this? Where do I want to buy at? Where do I want to short at? Something like that here. So we get down to this trend line here, wherever it might bounce around a little bit, maybe wick a little bit, but this Stosh RSI is going to come down with it as well too, or it's going to come down probably before it and then pull this price action down. We're going to get a touch on this trend line right here. Then this is going to go sideways potentially a little bit. Then once it starts going up here, that's going to sit there and tell us that the RSI is going to start going up, because the RSI is slower than the Stosh RSI. So the Stosh RSI is going to be down to the lows. You can sit there and see how it goes to the highs to the lows, not nearly a lot faster than the RSI on here. So once we get that moving up on the Stosh RSI, the RSI is eventually going to follow it, but the price action is going to follow that as well too. It's the leading indicators, your Stosh RSI here, and that's going to give us our bullish divergence. And after that bullish divergence, there's only usually one confirmed one in a whole time frame here, and bullish divergence is a reversal signal. So that will be a 4-hour reversal signal, very strong one here, that could potentially break us up and make us start going higher. So that is what we're going to be looking at on for that as of right now. And then after that, we'll be zooming back out to the 1-day time frame and looking for that confirmed break of the 1-day SMA 50. And by the time that kind of happens as well too, any money that 1-day SMA 9 is going to be right down in that area as well too, and we'll be breaking the 1-day 9 as well too.
Right. Wow. Rob just gave you guys the playbook for what could potentially happen here on Bitcoin. And I'm telling you, I've not seen this anywhere else. So if you want more like this all throughout the weekend and every single day, I mean, literally, you have the best mentor in the space. Sign up to the link in the description below, guys. BYDFI is their exchange of choice. They've been excellent partners for us. They're giving you $100 bonus. And the group is still free. It is switching to paid mode in February. So not a lot of time. And Optical here, I see you have a set point of view of what's going to happen to Bitcoin, but you have something even better here, which is a blueprint to if that, then this. And what I mean by that is, first, let's take it level by level, because 75K does not have to be anything in the interim, right? Like, what if we do get the scenario that plays out that Rob is talking about, and then we get our next swing up? It all depends on those key moving averages and where we're at when that happens. And I know I always ask you this, Rob, but what are we looking at as far as time? We're on the 4-hour time frame, or we were. What do you think, like, how quickly could this potential scenario play out?
I mean, I like measuring time off of oscillators here. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and this swing low that took about 6 days and 30. So let's just go ahead from here. I think we can start getting our upswing by the end of January potentially, so 27th or so.
Okay. Guys,
So
then you have to be all, all ears, all hands on deck. You've got to be in the group. You don't want to miss this potential pivot because you might not be seeing this anywhere else. And then you're going to miss it. And you're going to miss some massive moves to the upside if this plays out like this. And then we're going to have a ton of long setups for you guys in the group. We also have a beginner's course. So if you are brand new to trading, we can catch you up to speed on the basics, and then you can take our masterclass. Okay. So you've got to sign up. It's a no-brainer. And we're going to be keeping you updated in real time. We won't be back to YouTube till Monday. But over the weekend, we'll be in the group having a party as always. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll probably do some video lives. And yeah, now is the time to pay attention. Laser focused. That's it. All of the big money is looking to make purchases here while retail is in fear. And I just feel like this could be the scenario where we climb the wall of worry. Okay. We climb the fear and greed index, and, everybody is taken off guard.
Yeah, speaking of fear and greed, I think I posted it today in group as well too. Let's go ahead and look at my personal fear and greed chart here. So on my personal one here, on the 1-day time frame, I was looking at it today. We are basically down at the bottom on Bitcoin 1-day fear. Like we have maybe a little bit lower we can go, but it is down low. Bitcoin fear. So this is my personal. So the red's fear and everything like that. And the 12 hours starting to bounce out of it, point up. So we are in some major fear as of right now. We didn't get my green buy signal yet. It doesn't always happen, but so we are in a very fearful level. And usually you don't want to. This is like my buy the dip stuff, like right here. So like when you get down this deep fear, you start getting some green buy signals on here. This is only personal to me, isn't out on Trading View for anybody else to get. This is also too a buy zone as well too. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things like where I'm like, all right, I need to be like, I can still maybe do some shorts, but I can be more careful. I got to tighten up the risk a little bit, do a little bit better risk management, make sure I'm moving up the tops a little bit faster, stuff like that, and then be prepared to switch gears to go to long. Is kind of what I use.
Yes, Rob's secret indicator, which he will keep you updated on in the group. That is for the group, and it's really, really cool, guys. I see Gene. I love your emojis. Cheers to all the money we're gonna make as we learn these new skills. Yes, and it is awesome, Optical. It is a party time, and we do have such an amazing community. And I think that's really important in trading, because trading can be very isolating. Especially in your losses, and also in celebrating your wins. So it's just a supportive community where people just share their progress, right, and ask questions, and everybody is just very helpful. And that's the kind of atmosphere we want to have. We want to have good vibes all the way. So that's it. I mean, now you know what could happen in Bitcoin potentially in the next 4 days if it's by the 27th. So you've got to pay attention. You've got to get in there. Rob, anything else you want to leave them with for the weekend?
Yeah, if you're swinging day trading, I mean, I wouldn't pay attention to what everybody's saying on X about that we're going to 200K next, or we're going to 75K next. As a day and swing trader, those numbers shouldn't be mattering for you, because you're looking at taking profits in a more shorter term type of view. And no matter whether you're in a uptrend or downtrend, there's always trades going both ways. If you're in a downtrend, there's always bounces. If you're in a uptrend, there's always pullbacks. So that's why it's called a trend, not just straight up, straight down. Make sure you just have a strategy in place, and you're taking entries based off of certain rules, and you're managing risk correctly. So I know a lot of people will sit there and they'll get fixated on a certain number that it has to go to next. And you know what if it just does? Like, my thing is that I always sit there and say, what's the most frustrating thing that will get the bears and bulls most frustrated on the charts? That would be if this just creates a nice range right in here and just stays in this range right here until the end of February for the next month and a half. And you know what? To all the bulls and bears out there, you're both wrong, and only traders are right, because they're winning, because they're opening shorts up here, they're opening longs down here, and they're making money while it's going sideways.
Oh, wow. That's the real alpha indeed. And you know what? It does line up with what Kathy Wood's ARK Invest firm came out and said. We might just be retesting, between 80 and 90K for a while until we're ready to take off next. And if we're doing that, man, you better be ready, because there is a lot of money to be made. That is trading. Now, if you are an investor, we also teach you how to become a much better investor based on using these signals to get a potential better entry or better sell price, right? Like, so this is good for no matter if you are a trader and an investor, or just a trader, just an investor. You're going to learn so much. So you're already learning by just tuning into this YouTube. You're one of the real ones if you're here today with us. And I just want to congratulate you on job well done. Job well done, guys. While others are out doing whatever they're doing, you're here paying attention because you want to learn, you want to be better. And I'm just so proud of you. So guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. Rob, excellent analysis as always. And we will be seeing you then back in the hive. We hope you sign up and join the party. And that's it, guys. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you on Monday.
See you on Monday.